The Great Bath Avoidance, a Ghost Pony Family Story by Chapter 1, A Dirty Dilemma. It was a bright, sunny day in Ponyville, but in the Ghost Kincaid household, there was trouble brewing. Jack Farmer, Ghost Pony's mischievous young son, had been avoiding his bath for days. His once sparkling coat was now smeared with dirt, and his mane had collected more than a few leaves from his adventures. Ghost Pony had finally had enough. Jack, you're getting in that bath today, one way or another, Ghost Pony declared as he stood in the doorway, glaring at his son. But Jack wasn't having it. No way! I don't need a bath! He shouted, darting out of the house and into the fields. Ghost Pony sighed, his patience wearing thin. He knew Jack was fast, but Ghost Pony had a secret weapon. If Jack wouldn't willingly take a bath, Ghost Pony would bring the bath to him. Chapter 2. A Sloshy Strategy. Ghost Pony paced around the barn, deep in thought. How could he outsmart Jack and make him take that bath? After a few minutes, a mischievous grin spread across his face as he hatched a plan. If Jack wouldn't go to the bath, Ghost Pony would become the bath. Gotcha now, kid, Ghost Pony muttered under his breath. He took a deep breath and began to hawk and snort, gathering a mouthful of spit. His cheeks puffed up, growing larger and larger until they were round and swollen. Ghost Pony didn't stop there. He continued building up a massive reservoir of saliva, enough to create a bath in itself. His cheeks sloshed with the sheer amount of spit, and a strange gurgling sound echoed from his mouth. Chapter 3. The Chase Begins. Jack had taken refuge behind the barn, thinking he was safe. But then he heard it, a faint, wet sloshing sound growing louder and louder. Curious, Jack peeked around the corner, and what he saw made his heart skip a beat. Ghost Pony was standing there, his cheeks grotesquely puffed out and wobbling with every movement. "What are you doing?" Jack yelled in horror. But Ghost Pony didn't answer. He simply took a deep breath through his nose and started galloping towards Jack, cheeks bouncing and sloshing with every step. Jack's eyes widened as he realized what was happening. "Oh no, oh no, oh no," he shouted. Sprinting away as fast as his little hooves could carry him, the chase was on. Chapter 4. Out of Breath and Out of Time. The chase continued through the fields, around the barn, and even past a confused Princess Kincaid, who watched with an amused smile. Jack darted between trees and hopped over rocks, trying desperately to escape the ever-growing sound of wet sloshing behind him. But no matter how fast he ran, Ghost Pony was gaining on him. Jack's heart pounded in his chest as he rounded the corner of the barn, only to find himself trapped against the wall. With nowhere left to run, he pressed his back to the wood, panting heavily. Ghost Pony stood just a few feet away, his cheeks still swollen, eyes gleaming with playful triumph. "Any last words before bath time?" he asked, his voice muffled through the spit in his mouth. Jack gulped. He was cornered. There was no way out. Okay, I'll take the bath." "Just no spit," he pleaded. Chapter 5. A Slimy Surrender. Ghost Pony paused, considering his son's plea. After a long moment, he took a deep breath and slowly swallowed down all the saliva he had gathered, his cheeks gradually deflating. The wet gurgling stopped, and Ghost Pony's face returned to normal. "Deal," Ghost Pony said with a smirk. "No spit bath, this time." Jack breathed a sigh of relief, wiping the sweat and the dirt from his brow. He had narrowly avoided what could have been the grossest bath in the history of baths. Ghost Pony trotted off to prepare the actual bath, leaving Jack to catch his breath. But just as Jack was about to relax, a familiar thought crept into his mind. What if I hide again? Chapter 6. Ghost Pony's Final Warning. Jack scurried off once more, determined to find a better hiding spot. He settled down under a large tree on the outskirts of Ponyville, confident that this time he could escape bath duty. As he leaned against the trunk, he closed his eyes, imagining he had outsmarted his father. But then he heard it again, a faint gurgling sound, like water sloshing around. Jack's eyes shot open, and his heart sank. Ghost Pony appeared from behind the tree, his cheeks puffing up once more. "I told you, kid," Ghost Pony said through his swollen cheeks. "You're getting a bath one way or another." Jack's eyes widened in terror as he realized that Ghost Pony wasn't about to let him get away this time. Chapter 7. The Bath at Last. Back at the Ghost Kincaid household, Jack finally relented and took the bath, much to Ghost Pony's satisfaction. The water was warm, and Jack, now squeaky clean, realized that maybe bath time wasn't so bad after all. But he couldn't help but wonder what would have happened if Ghost Pony had unleashed the full power of his spit bath. As Jack climbed out of the tub, dripping wet, Ghost Pony gave him a knowing smile. "Next time, don't make me chase you," he said. Jack nodded quickly. Having learned his lesson, he had narrowly escaped the slimiest fate imaginable. But one thing was certain, he wouldn't be skipping bath time ever again. The end.